All right. Let's close these guys. So, this is my first time doing a Math Academy screencast, and let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So Math Academy, if you don't know what this is a website that, if I go without the learn, I can maybe see what this shows us. Oh, it goes back to learn because I'm signed in. But basically, there's lots of different courses from 4th grade through pretty deep into the math, like a math major, maybe quite a few of the things here in the university thing. And it's all the standard ones, but they have different versions of things. And the nice thing about this, I've found, I've been using it for about 2 months, I think every day for about 2 months now, is you do a diagnostic test that figures out where you are in terms of what you remember or know from your math studies. And let's just say if you can solve like a complicated integral or something like that, then it realizes that you know a lot of stuff that needs to be built up for that. So there's a cool diagnostic, and it figures out what you know, what you don't know, and what you need to work on. So I'm all the way through Foundations 1, 99% finished. I'm 97% done through Foundations 2, and I haven't done yet a diagnostic for Foundations 3. I suspect it won't be 1%, but it won't be 97% either. And the nice thing is every day you just come in and see what's available, and there's options here, and they have different experience points here. So I'll just go ahead and get started, and you can see what it looks like for me as I'm working on this. I currently have my little pen and paper here, so we'll see how this plays out. And I actually want to, right before I start, I am going to open up the chat thing to see if I have anyone saying anything that needs to be focused on. Okay, so the nice thing is, so these are all reviews right now. As I go through this, it'll probably come up with a lesson before the end of this, and I'll expect to do this for about half an hour. Cool, let's see here. This chat works. Please comment here. Cool. So let's just kick it off with the first things first, with the review. So this is going to be translating between explicit and recursive functions. And I'm just going to work on this as I kind of normally do. I'm not going to be explaining what I'm doing so much. This is more just like what the experience is like as you go through it. So what's the explicit formula for the nth term of the arithmetic sequence? So A1 is 5 and greater than 1. So an is going to be a1 plus, so minus 7. N minus 1 times 7. Is that right? An is a1 plus n minus 1 by 7. So let's say if I do n equals 1, equals to 0, so just a1, which is true. A2 is then 2 minus 1 minus 7. So 2 would be 1 minus 7 minus 7. So A2 would be negative 2. 5, negative 2. Okay, so I think the formula is not here. Let's try this again. An plus 1, an minus 7. So the previous 1 and subtract 7. So it's minus 7n. It has to be minus 7n. So it suggests that it's this one. Let's just test it then. So n equals 1, 2, 3. So a1 has to be 5, and 12 minus 7n, which is 1, is 5. Okay. Next one is 2, 14 minus 2, and so on. Okay, it's E. they give a nice little write-up here for how to think about it. Formula for the nth term of a sequence. So f of n plus 1 equals the previous one times 0.5 okay, so the 0.65 is just a constant. Okay, so let's think. You always add half of the previous one. Okay, let's think about this. The formula for the nth term of a sequence is 0.5n plus 0.65. Let's just do the first few n's. N of 1, 2, 3. Okay. So n of 1 is 0.5 times 1 plus 0.65, which is 1.15. Okay. 2 would be 1 plus 0.65. No, it is f of n plus this, so it's 1.15. Aha. Previous one plus points. Oh, no. The formula it would be 0.5 times 2, which is 1. 1 plus 0.65, which is 1.65. The third one, just to finish this out, would be 1.5 plus 0.65, which is 2.15. So the recursive formula is f of n plus 1. So f of 1 first, it has to equal 1.15. So let's just kick out someone. So it's either the first or the last. Okay, let's just narrow it down there. And it is simply the previous one plus 0.65 each time. Wow, that was unreasonably difficult for me to think through. The recursive formula, the scaling out front, is plus 0.5 each time, plus 0.5. How do they think about it? So they get these nice little write-ups about how they think about this. So the recursive formula is this. Common differences are so and so. Okay. Which we knew from the recursive formula is then plus 5. Okay. They got there in a much more elegant way than I did, but got there nonetheless. The formula for the nth term of a sequence is 5 minus n for n greater than 1. Okay, so they find the difference in the terms. So it's 5, 4, 3. So the difference here is 1. So it's the previous one minus 1. So f of n plus 1 minus 1. Again, it's the first or the last one from this minus 1 piece. And f of 0 or f of 1 is going to be 4. So it has to be the first one. Double check that. Yes. Cool. Now, see, I've done 3 of the 5, but I think because I got this one right, I've completed the review of it. I've got the 4 experience points it promised me, plus a bonus for answering the first 3 questions correctly. So it's another nice thing about this is that it's basically saying, like you clearly have demonstrated that you understand what's going on here, although it was a little bit rough for me this morning. So let's go ahead and stop this a little bit early and go on to the next thing, which I really like. It's a nice little touch there. And if you get it wrong, you get extra problems to practice it to make sure you get it right. Not bad at all. So I have a daily target of 15 experience points, which isn't that much. So I just got 6 already. And I have a choice here. So here's a lesson that's come up. I'm going to do one more review, and then I will do a lesson. So you get a choice between these like kind of four different options each time. What's the y-intercept of y equals 4 e to the minus x minus 2? So x of 0 is the y-intercept. E to the 0 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Equation of the horizontal asymptote of the function e to the 1 minus x minus 3. Okay, so e asymptotes to 0, so minus, it doesn't really matter, you just flip it along the y-axis. So it should be minus 3. Find the root of f of x equals 2 times 5 to the 3x plus 2 minus 54. Okay. 0 equals 2 times 5 to the 3x plus 2 minus 54. So 54 equals 2, 5 to the blah, blah, blah. Divide by 2, just 5 to 3x plus 2 is 27. So what x makes this true? These things are usually kind of nice, so I'm making sure I haven't messed up already something. Oh, I see, it's going to be in the form of log. Okay, so I don't need to actually get it down to a nice reduced form. So let's do log base 5 of 27, log base 5 of 5 to the 3x plus 2. 2 is log 5 of 27, which means 3, 9, 27, so 3 log 5 of 3 equals 3x plus 2. So 3 log 5, 3 minus 2 is 3x equals x over 3. So it's, I can do the whole thing over 3. The thing over 3. So 3 log base 5 of 3 minus 2. No. 3 log 5, 3 minus 2 over 3. They solve it the same way I did. Let's just check. Okay. Finish the review. All right, yay, I'm 12 experience points down to the 15. I have an assessment. So there's reviews, lessons, and assessments or quizzes. And so lessons 12 experience points. This quiz is 15, and it says it'll take 15 minutes, 10 total questions, and it's optional until 7 more experience points have been earned. So if I do this lesson next, then the next thing I have to do would be the assessment. And let's see here. If I do this right now, yeah, might as well. I'll do it right now. And we'll see how we're doing. Although I'm feeling a little bit slow today. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, so this might be a bit more rough than usual. Now, the lessons and the reviews are all basically untimed as far as I can tell. And this one actually is timed, the assessment or the quiz. So you have to be smart here. And they also give you extra bonus points and poor performance. So let's start this off. So find the limit of x goes to the function goes to this as x greater than 2 is defined and less than 1 is defined. So the limit as it goes to 2 is not defined because there's nothing, you can't approach it from the left. Okay. It's the and you don't know how you did until you've finished the whole thing. And the 15 minutes is remaining. What's the antiderivative of 2 to the 2 over x? So this would be natural log x, 2 natural log x. So d dx of natural log is 1 over x. And if that's 2, so 2 natural log x. Oh yeah, plus k plus 2k, so 2 natural log, okay, 2 natural log of the constant plus the constant, which is thrown into here as a factor on this thing, and absolute value of x is there. Okay. Solve the natural log of this one equals natural log for x. Okay. Subtract 1 minus 6, x equals -3. I'll come back to that one. I'll say come back to number 3 and double check. There's nothing clever going on with the natural logs. Okay. Cotangent of x is -5 over 2. The value of cotangent of x minus 6. So cotangent of is every pi? Is it pi? So tangent's asymptote, so it's 2 every pi, so 6 pi, though it's be back to where you are, so -5 halves. Okay. Calculator is required. I am ready for this. Arithmetic sequence as f of 9 is -15, common difference of -1, find the value of n, such that f of n is -41. Okay. Let's just run this down real quick. So f of 9 is -15, and the common difference is -1. So each time you're getting -1 is -14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 8, 7, all these minuses, of course. Find the value of n such that f of n equals -41. So it's basically a jump of 41 minus 15. 15 gets us to 30. 25 gets us to 40. 26. So it's a jump of 26. The difference is 1 each time. We start with 9. So plus 9. It's 35. Okay. Nine is -15, blank equals -15, a difference of -1. So 26 more. So we get 26 more. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling okay with that one. Okay, let's see here. Scores of math. So group scatter plot shows relationship between the grades. Which describes the correlation between these? None. Manufacturer produces a die from a plastic net. What's the total surface area of the die? So 3, 6 sides on a die, 100 meters, 600 millimeters. Okay. 3 cosine of 2x minus 2 pi over 3, which expression gives all the values of x at which f of x attains its maximum value. Assume that n is an integer. All of the values at which x is a maximum. Okay, well, it starts off with pi over 2 plus 2 pi n is what cosine with nothing happening in between it. So pi over 2 is positive. No, this is cosine. So let me write this down. Cosine's a maximum at 0 plus 2 pi n. Okay, so 2 pi n is equal to 2x minus 2 pi over 3. We solve for x. So 2 pi n plus 2 pi over 3 is 2x. Because x is divide the 2 off of these things. We get pi n plus pi over 3. We can factor that out, but we don't need to because that's the exact answer. Pi n plus pi over 3. Okay. Question number 9. Find the inverse of the function. We're on to doing the back of the piece of paper. So x equals 3y plus 1 over y minus 4. Okay, y minus 4 times x equals 3y plus 1. Let's distribute that, xy minus 4x. And let's see, which side do we want to throw things to? Throw y to the left. So 4x plus 1 is negative 3y xy minus 3y. 4x switches sides, plus 1 stays on the same side, x is the same, 3y goes to minus 3y. Okay, so then y times x minus 3 is 4x plus 1, which I'll put over x minus 3 equals y. This is no longer equal. Okay, so 4x plus 1 over x minus 3. 4x plus 1 over x minus 3. Okay, last question. How are we doing here? Consider the function above. Which of the following intervals is the function continuous? Okay, so the only place it's not is at minus 4. So minus infinity to 0, this is not correct. Minus 4 inclusive to infinity, that looks correct. And 2 to 8. Okay, we're going to assume that they're not trying to be extra sneaky over here. So I think it's 2 and 3 only. Let's just double check. Negative infinity to 0, no, not continuous. Negative 4 inclusive to infinity not inclusive is, and 2 to 8. So 2 and 3. Cool, 7 minutes left, so I think I've answered all of them. It's a 15-minute time test. I did it in 9 minutes. Feeling a little slow this morning, but I still think I'm feeling pretty strong about this. I said I was going to go back and check number 3. I got plenty of time, so let's just go over it real quick. The limit as we go to 2, it is not defined because it's not defined for anything equals 2. The antiderivative of 2 over x is 2 natural log of constant times absolute value of x. That looks right. The natural log of this is for x. Aha. I said I want to come back and double check this one. So yeah, if you just assume that the natural log on both sides gets you squared away. So the equivalent x is minus 3. So what happens if x is minus 3? You get natural log of minus 3 minus 5. So natural log of minus 8. That doesn't work. Let's just see what happens with our scientific calculator here. Minus 8. Natural log? Can I do that? No. Undefined. Yay. Okay. So I am switching my answer to no solutions. 5 minutes left. Cotangent for some x. Find the value of cotangent. Not doing anything special to cotangent here besides shifting it by 6 pi, which is 2 pi. So I'm going to just leave it the same as this. This is the 26 one, where I feel pretty good about. There is no correlation on this plot. It's a die from this plastic net. Surface area is 6 times 100, so it's 600. So I'm just missing something stupid obvious. You can see the function here, because the maximum value, it's not a minus sign here, so this is 3 times, but that doesn't matter. And, okay, inverse of this is 4x plus 1 over x minus 3, I think is what I exactly had here. Plus 4, plus 1. Okay. And the last one. Just double check. Intervals are continuous. All right. 4 minutes remaining. I'm feeling pretty good. Submit it. I'm sure it double checks that you do it. And I got 100 points. 10 out of 10. And after it does an assessment like this, it thinks for a little bit and tells you, hey, we're going to do something else. So now here's some new lessons and some reviews and things like that. But I've just finished by 2xing my experience points for the day. So I think I'll stop there actually. And we've got 4 people watching. Send any message. Hey. Hey, thanks, Justin. So I will, yeah, if anyone has any questions about what I've been doing here, or what this is, I guess Justin, I think, actually works for Math Academy. So feel free to jump in the chat there, and otherwise, I'll let you guys have a good day. So, felt good. Math Foundations 3, I'm coming for you next. All right, I'm going to stop this now.